Hello everyone, it's Scott, and welcome back to another episode of Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Skyblock Expert Mode. Now before I start, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been joining this channel and everyone who's joined over the last year. Since I just hit 100 subscribers over this weekend. It's still amazing to me that there's so many people out there just checking in to watch me play games, and hopefully it must be somewhat entertaining. Otherwise, if not, let me know in the comment section below. I just seem to be bumbling through a lot of things, and yeah. So right now, I'm kind of struggling to find a path to the end creative items. I've been looking up like how much awakened draconium I'm going to need, and it's pretty staggering the number of pieces that I need, and I don't feel like going out and copying Direwolf's spawner invention. So hopefully there's just some way I can bridge the gap and at least pretend that I'm finding this out on my own instead of I don't want to just clone other people's work because well, what's the fun in that? Now, in between episodes, I went back and I remade this big reactor turbine. I extended it out to 11 by 11 by 14, if I recall. And what I have here are I have a 3-width or 3-radius turbine blade, and so that works out to 12 per row. And then there's 7 rows of blades. The last row only has so there's a total of 80 blades and 37 Enderium blocks laid out in 5 rows as the coil, and that gives me the optimum number I need to hit 1800. So this is right now stalled out at the max efficiency. It hasn't climbed up in a while. If it is, it's ticking extremely slowly. So I'm getting 24,000 RF out of just this one block. So of course I started scoping out what I needed for the second. Now there's quite a lot of iridium that I needed. So what I ended up doing was doing a little research, and I expanded to 3 mass fabricators. And so each one of these is powered through a tesseract that's hooked into the power line channel, and so that's dumping in quite a lot of energy. And so I ended up hooking the scrap boxes into a ender chest, which are dumping out using resonance servos and item warp ducts, which are transferring instantaneously to as many downstream mass fabricators as I decide to throw in. So on the back side, it occurred to me, well, boy, basically I was running out of channels in my ME system, and I ran into, what else can I be using to instantaneously transfer fluids? And of course, oh yeah, Ender Storage not only provides Ender chests, it also provides Ender tanks. I forgot all about that. So what I ended up doing was setting up a UU matter channel here to the upstairs fabricator. Let's come back over here. And so all of the UU matter is dumping in through here into the replicator, where I'm just producing iridium ore, well, as fast as I can. So during the daytime, this is taking about 2 to 3% per second, which is pretty darn good as far as I'm concerned. And so every couple of minutes that pops out a new iridium, and so 2 of them make a blade, and yeah, so that's what I'm doing to expand the reactor. Now, of course, running 3 mass fabricators at the same time is pretty draining. And see, I'm back down to 0 again. So what I've been doing is just in order to keep the system alive, well, I've been running in the daytime a lot, and just going to bed and sleeping. And so what I end up doing is just taking my nether stars, and so I was over 300 at one point, so I just dump in 16 or so every so often, and step back out of range and let that go. So another thing that I did was I ended up crafting another ichor cloth wand. And so here I have void caps on the end of the wand. And so I'm just going to throw this one in here to get it to charge. So I'm going to come back in like a couple hours and pull that guy out. And so I was reading that the ichor cloth wands actually add an additional level to whatever focus potency you have. So in this case, since I have a potency of 5 of shock, I want to see if that bumps it up to 6 when I have when this guy is fully charged. And that should make it even easier to take out the Gaia Guardian. Alright, the next endgame item that I feel like making is the Draconic Bow. And to get that, this is going to require quite a bit of Awakened Draconium. And beyond that, I'm going to need this item called Pure Mana. Now, Pure Mana is coming from Mana Dust, which is something I also need to make the Bow of the Wyvern. And the Mana Dust is a little complicated in that I have to take pulverized mana infused metal, pour primal mana on top of it. And right now, those are the only two ways of getting Mana Dust back out. Pulverized mana either comes from mana infused ore or mana infused ingots, and I was melting those down by basically smelting the Mithryl Ore that I'm getting from the grinding down the end stone in the not the pulverizers, the crushers. Here we go. The broken Mithryl Ore was coming from crushed netherrack in the sieve, the automatic sieve, and grinding that down is what basically leads to the powdered Mithryl Ore, which then leads to the ore dust, which then I was melting down in order to get the mana-infused ingots. Phew! So all of that I'm throwing into this crazy formula over here. So the mana dust, once I get the pulverized mana infused metal, I have to pour this primal mana on top of it. And that means I need to take the liquid XP and molten draconium and pour it out. So the only problem was noticing that the molten draconium, so this is 2 bits of the draconium dust. We'll see that only makes 144. So 2 bits of dust and 1 bucket of XP makes 2 bits of primal mana. And then the mana, I actually need 360, which means I have to work with a ratio of 4 to 5. So for every 5 draconium I pump in, I'm only going to be able to get 80% of that out. So multiplying up, if I put in 5 XP buckets, 5 infused metal, 10 draconium dust, I'm going to get 4 mana dust out. And so what happens here is that's going to dump into the chest, and then I have a whitelisted routing system that's going to put the infused metal down into the casting table. I'm going to dump the XP buckets into this fluid transposer, which is going to pump it back into this smeltery. Now the smeltery is running on pyrotheum, which basically gives it a speed increase, which is then dumping the fluid. So the back side of the transposer is dumping the output of the XP buckets back into the smeltery. And so let's make another 4 of these, and we'll kind of walk through how this is creating. So the buckets are being dumped in the fluid transposer. The XP is then loading up here in the smeltery, and so that's eventually going to kick up 5 buckets worth, which becomes primal mana, which dumps out here, and eventually these blocks here, the mana infused metal, will combine, and all this is dumped back into the ME system through the return lines to the ME interface. Phew. Okay, so with that, I should be able to start crafting the next tier of the wyvern items. So let's pop back up. Can I? Okay, I'm having a problem right-clicking on this. It just doesn't seem to be teleporting me as reliably as it used to. So let's come over here and wyvern bow. Here we go, bow the wyvern. And so how many of these do I have already? Very few. Okay, shiny reinforced bow should be more than doable. So I'm missing the 3 pieces there. So 2 wyvern cores and another wyvern energy core. Well, that's easy. 2 wyvern cores and then a wyvern energy core. And that is just a matter of waiting. And there we go. There's the first piece and now the second. So let's pop over here. Wyvern cores, 1, 2. And so that wyvern core is going to get bounced through that other machine that I made, I think about an episode, probably about 4 episodes ago. Yep, there we go. And so, trying to remember what the holdup might be. Let's come over here and take a look. So, oh, lots of redstone. That's the holdup. So, 7,200 redstone in order to make one crafting. Yeah. Didn't I say something about upgrading this mana crucible? I guess I never got around to doing that. So, okay. 20 pieces of redstone later, and this should pop out. Alright, here's the last piece, the Wyvern Energy Core. So dumping that in, that should give me the bow of the Wyvern. Excellent. So back to the Draconic Bow. Yeah, this is going to be pretty crazy. Yep, definitely not enough mana yet. So let's throw that in. Make another 8. And I'm missing a lot of pieces. Okay, so another pure mana. And then I'll need basically 2 awakened cores here. A third one, which is going to have to get drenched in molten draconium. So my problem is I don't have enough awakened draconium, which means I'm going to have to go back and at least do the dragon heart. I'm going to have to activate this dragon heart and do at least one more resurrection ritual in order to get more hearts to, well, make more awakened draconium. So let me go and do that. Okay, I'm back and I've been doing a lot of loose ends around the base, and one of these is to amp up my draconium game. So here I have a fair number of draconium dust that are grinding down with coal inside the QED, and there's a formula that'll take instead of just taking one of the ore dust becomes 2 draconium dust. If I add coal, it becomes 3 draconium ingots. And so there's enough recipes here that I need draconium ingots that this is a pretty good, this is going to be a good trade. So let's build a couple more draconium blocks. Here we go. And whip those up. And let's grab, now it turns out that I did have an extra dragon heart. It turns out I had beaten the nether dragon twice, once with the original version and then the second one with the resurrected version. So I think I just need to go through the duplication process twice. Now I'm almost done with my whoops. Let's make a couple more wyvern cores here. Start. And I'm almost done with the second of my big reactor turbines. So I've been running on that 3 mass fabricators, and so it's producing a fair amount of iridium now. I have another 9 waiting to be processed, and so with that, this guy is almost ready to power up as soon as I get another port and plug in the controller. So let's take the controller here, and I'm waiting on an MFSU to finish. So okay, that's not going to be done until I close this in. So yep, let's let that tick down a bit. So with the MFSU that's still crafting, I'm waiting on circuit boards again. Let's head up here and perform another one of the awakening rituals. Alright, I'm back, and I had the wrong items before. I had to go back and check the Draconic Evolution tablet, and yeah, I just forgot. So let's take care of this by dropping in the Dragon Heart, hitting the TNT with the flint and steel. Let's blow up that heart, and then wait for this to start glittering, and then I'm going to throw in Draconic cores, not wyvern cores. Okay, so let's do that now. And once I have all those fed, let's drop in the 4 charged draconium blocks. And that should be what I need for the awakening ritual. Excellent. Okay, so let's grab these 4 guys and head back up to the ME system so I can finish crafting the Draconic Bow. Meanwhile, yep, I'm out again, so back to the Nether Stars. 360. Yeah, these are roaring along quite well. Oops, item hopper, beep. And good. So back over here, let's grab ourselves the Draconic Bow. And what do I have so far? Okay, I'm missing everything down the middle. So that'll be a Flux Electrum, the Bow of the Wyvern, and the Draconic Energy Core. Okay. Oof, this is going to be very expensive. Molten Draconium, 5184. That's 36 pieces of Draconium ore. So let's grab that. Draconium dust, 32, 36. Okay, and I should be able to make one more. What am I missing? I'm missing the Energy Core requires an Awaken Core. So let's grab the last one of those. My Wyvern Bow will go in the middle. Let's get our Flux Electrum. So make 10 of those, and while that's ticking, we'll head over here. And hopefully this will also work. So right click to drop in the Wyvern Core, and I should be able to throw in... Oh my, okay, I cannot. Alright, I ended up throwing all of the draconium dust into this smeltery downstairs where I was working with the Mithryl and the mana infused blocks. So what I'm going to do is just take this and dump all of it out to a tank. So what would be the easiest way to do that? I think if I probably take the tank. Yeah, actually, the easiest way is to hook this up to the servo. And what I'll do is just temporarily turn on the blacklist, which will... Okay, this is getting a little too crowded down here. So let's get rid of this servo here. So that way it'll fill up the tank with the 5184 that I need. So let's turn this back to whitelist, collect up our tank. There we go. Then we'll head upstairs. And I should be able to just dump this tank over here into this system right here. So that way when I put the this awaken core on top of the casting table, where do I need to hook this up? I guess I can drop it in right here. Okay, which means all I need is another servo to extract the draconium. Bink, bink, bink. Okay, so that'll pull that out, dump it on top of the core. 5184, 5184, and whew, Draconic Energy Core. Awesome. Grab that guy out immediately. Okay, so let's clean up my mess and then head over here. The crafting terminal. Place in the Draconic Energy Core, and hopefully the flux electrum block is now done. Bink, bink, bink. And I have completed the Draconic Bow. Awesome. Alright, now that I have the bow, I think I'm ready to play around with some of the extra tools. So I've remapped the HUD key to delete, at least on my system. And so bringing up the Draconic HUD will allow me to click on any Draconic item and modify some of the abilities of the device. So what I'd like to do is get in here to the item inventory, which is a way that I can add basically enchantments as if I was just placing them like any normal item. So I'm going to turn this into an infinity bow, soulbound of course in case I die, and then power 5 in order to give it the max enhancement. So let's go back, and base damage, I want full damage. I want let's turn the auto fire on, and what that should do is that as long as I hold down the right click, that should keep firing arrows. So let's do that. Right. So I can just hold down the right arrow now, and there's actually a couple of additional modes. So if I hold the shift key and right click, that should change. Let's see. Okay, it looks like I can just play around with the HUD options. I can basically increase the damage, give fire effects. You can see that the RF is amazingly increased when I do this. So I'm just going to stick with the auto fire. That doesn't give me any penalty for using that. So I think what I'm going to do now is head over to the end and do another round of Draconic Resurrection. Alright, here's the finished resurrection ritual, so let's activate it. And as that's going, let's see if I can hit... You know what? I forgot to mine the bedrock. Yep, I forgot to mine it. So, I wonder if I can just put this in block mode. No, I can't. Okay, I'm gonna have to deal with these guys later, but for now, I should be able to simply take out the take out all these crystals. Alright, I think that's the last of the crystals. So, I should be able to start taking on the dragon now. Okay, that was crazy. That actually took, according to my counter, I'm at 9 minutes to finish him off with this bow. That was... I didn't think I had that bad of an aim, but yeah, it's gotten a lot more difficult with this Draconic Bow than I expected. So, I did get a lot of yellow hearts out of it, I will say, and one more official dragon heart. So let's head back to the overworld and, well, figure out what to do next. Alright, I just wanted to point out that the second reactor is now fully charged up at about 1800 RPM, producing another 24,000 RF per tick. So that's 2 of them running in parallel, and I still have room for one more because these are still operating at a 40% dampening. So yeah, so that'll work out pretty good. So that's everything I wanted to cover today. If anybody has any suggestions on how I can improve this bow, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to start crafting the other pieces of the Draconic weaponry probably at the start of the next episode. So if you could, please leave a comment or a like. Let me know how I'm doing, and I will see you next time in Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Skyblock Expert Mode. Bye!